Ross, another battling display from your players who, again, ran through brick walls. But another game where, unfortunately, a big refereeing decision has overshadowed things.
Yeah, every week now. I thought the standard of refereeing today was pretty poor for both teams. Some decisions in there that just amazed me. But at the same time, we need to look at the goals ourselves. And the 2 goals we did concede after the first one were really poor, really sloppy and really poor. But the game was broken up by just poor decisions all over, really. And it sometimes feels like a hill we've got to climb each game. Because first half, I thought the quality of both teams was quite poor as well. So there's not much in it. But that goal was a deciding factor for their momentum. It's just not really good enough. We get it each week now. We get the sorry emails and letters and all that rubbish that goes with it. But we've got to say something, because the boys are getting deflated each week from these decisions. So we have to say something. We have to raise it in the right manner. The boys are obviously frustrated, but it's important we take loads of positives today, because these are top of the league for a long time, and you wouldn't know who'd been relegated. It was fine margins. So today, loads of positives, but to be fair, I think it's been overshadowed by some poor refereeing decisions.
Yeah, but going back to your previous point, I think you're absolutely right. I mean, Barnet have battered teams towards the bottom. Let's make no bones about it.
Yeah.
Not today. It was a really even game. We had to do some defending, let's not kid ourselves, but on the break we looked dangerous.
Yeah, I think from the outside it looks like a standard 3-1 win to Barnet. They've been doing it all season. But if you were here watching it, it wasn't that easy for them. The 2 goals they scored were probably the easiest they scored. They were really poor defending and just a bit of concentration. We just switched off for a moment. So it's important we look at that. But on the counter, we looked really dangerous, and we had another opportunity that got brought back for some reason. We'll never know if we'd score that counter attack because it got brought back. But yeah, I think there's more positives today. But again, it's just a bit clouded by these decisions that are just ruining the game, really. There's a lot of bookings. A lot of our players got booked, including myself. But it's just a frustration. It's a passionate game. And when we're on the receiving end of it, then it does hurt. So, but yeah, boys have got to take a lot of positives from today.
You summed it up well the other day against AFC Fylde, because you don't want it to sound like sour grapes, but it's not, because your players are running through brick walls for you. And it's even more disappointing, isn't it, when these decisions happen, because ultimately there is a gap between the 2 teams. I don't think it's as big as the table makes out, but at the same time, you need the decisions to go for you. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, I mean, the gap in the league obviously is a great gap. It's a big gap. But in terms of actual performances, there wasn't much there, Yes, a couple of chances we could have done better with, a bit of quality at the end. But we're more than capable of competing, just a bit of concentration in our defensive box, in our area. But other than that, I just think it's just been a bit clouded today. And the boys are really frustrated. They are. They're not down in terms of performance. They're just really frustrated that we're just not getting the consistency that we demand consistency on the pitch, and we just want to see it from the refereeing. But there's too many examples today to go through, but so many question marks on decisions and not many answers given back to us. So there's the frustration. We need more clarity, but I think the boys need to take big credit from today, because they put in a massive shift. They run through walls, and they do that week in, week out. Luck will turn eventually. It should do. I hope so. But today we've got to walk out knowing that we put a real shift in today, and we've been really positive, because that's the mood in the camp. So we've got to keep it going.
Yeah, definitely. And part-time against full-time, going from Good Friday to today is difficult anyway. But I mean, even when we were 3-0 down in the 90th minute, lads are running the socks off, and I thought we got a just goal from Harvey Greenslade. Great finish from him. That's one of the positives. What other positives are there to take today?
We created opportunities first half. We had 3 or 4. I need to look at the offsides as well. There's 4 offsides in there that must have been extremely tight, because the liner was about 5 yards behind. So unless he's got great vision, I've got poor vision. But I think we got into the final third, but our quality let us down at times. So there's bits we need to pick apart. Yes, we got there, but we could have done better in the final third. And then Arnaldo with a header at the end. Can he get down and get that down and score another one? I think he probably can. He knows he's obviously disappointed with that last header, but we showed more than enough to get a draw out of today. More than enough, and I think that's why the boys can be, frustrated, because we're doing enough to get points out of these games, and it is what it is. We are down, but we're not going to go down without a fight. And today we put up a good, strong fight, and we'll continue to do that, because we're not going to roll over for anyone.
Yeah, absolutely. And now actually a bit of a break until our next game. The Bromleys are in the FA Trophy, so we're back against Oldham. That's a massive game for them, but it's a massive game for us as well. and we've shown today that we want every single point as much as we have
Yeah.
in the whole season, haven't it?
Yeah, I think there's massive respect for every club in the league, and we show everyone big respect. But as soon as that whistle goes, the boys have got to do the business, and we've been doing the business more often than not. We need a bit of luck to get that, but we need to defend our box better. We need to take our chances. We create a lot of chances. We get into the final third a lot. Oldham, another big club, a performance when we went to Oldham we weren't proud of. We looked really sluggish, didn't get out of traps. We had a couple of injuries, we had to make subs early on in the game, a bit disjointed. So we owe them a good performance, and we're looking forward to that one because we put in a good shift here today at a tough Barnet team. As you said, they roll teams over 5 or 7 and he's just put one in the top corner. So I think it's important we address Oldham with big respect, but at the same time, we're playing on our patch, so we need to make sure we put a good performance in. I'm sure we will.
He literally did put that in the top corner as well, so fair play to him. But thanks very much for your time, Ross.
Cheers.